Hello, Spartan fans, and welcome to Center Court, Upstate Basketball Insider, where each week we take an in-depth look at the Upstate Spartans. Jason Patterson, and alongside is head coach Eddie Payne. Coach, you guys start 3-0 for the first time in the Division I era of the school's program, and then you fight pretty hard down at UCF in a game that you really battled all the way down to the end.
Well, yeah, 3-0 is for this team. You know, what happened in the past is really not significant, but it was significant for this team. I think it gave them some confidence. Even though it wasn't a difficult schedule, we had a road win in there. We had a couple good wins at home, and then we continued on. We played fairly well down at UCF. Made a lot of mistakes defensively, but battled really well and had a chance to win the game. Led the game, you know, it was nip and tuck the whole time. So good experience for us.
It's time to take a look back at the highlights of the home victory over Bob Jones.
Basically, I just try to stay ready. Coming off the bench, you know, you're always cold. So you just got to really stay in the game mentally. I think we do a good job on the end of the bench, staying into it mentally. So really it's just staying true to the process, getting in the gym every day, getting up extra shots. That's really what it was for me, is just coming in and just doing what I can to help the team out. And luckily today it was just falling for me. You know, it was just really great. Like I said, it was just awesome to help out the team in whatever way I can, whether that be on the bench or actually on the floor. I was just happy I could help out.
We were going nuts. I mean, you know, that's my roommate, and we shoot a lot. And you know, anytime somebody catches fire like that, I mean, we were going crazy. We were tackling each other on the bench, and it was, anytime you see a performance like that, it's amazing, because he's right. Coming off the bench and having to just get it going is one of the hardest things to do in basketball. So to see a performance like that, it's just unbelievable.
Well, what I want to see is us play within the context and the confines of our offense and our system, and I thought our team did a terrific job of that the whole game. I mean, that's reflective of the attitudes these guys have. You know, we knew we were better, but you know, you don't expect to beat somebody by this amount of, and we moved the ball. We shot a high percentage. We, you know, turned over maybe a little too much, but you know, all in all, we stayed in context and didn't freelance too much. One or two possessions in a big game like that's not bad. So I was real pleased with our approach to the game by everybody that played. Everybody got at least, well, Big Mike only had 11, but everybody else after that had at least 14 minutes. So you know, that's pretty good. And you know, you're looking 12 people that played. Ty didn't even get to play in the second half. He was wanting to go in. I said, no, can't go in.
Badly.
He had a pretty good first half, so it was just a real good game for us. Now we're in a position to go on the road against a quality team and see what, you know, we'll find out more about ourselves. I thought our defense was solid too. I mean, this defense we're using this year is showing promise. Our guys are picking it up pretty good. We need Mike to really be a really good team, but we've developed depth, and these other guys are coming in and making good contributions, so we'll figure out a way to survive if he can play a game or two.
You know, we're really looking forward to UCF. You know, I can't wait to play. You know, played 14 minutes today, so I should feel pretty good, you would think. But you know, that's our first goal, to get that one. Then the Thanksgiving tournament is going to be huge for us, because we've been to San Francisco, Texas, Ohio, and now we get to host this one. It's a big one, because this is a hard place to come in and win, and we got some excellent teams. It's going to be an excellent measuring stick as we get ready for our conference season. We're very excited.
You know, I told them, and the basketball wisdom would have said, or probably does say, if you guys losing all them players like you did last year, you know, it's not going to be as good. Well, I think the first time we had a meeting, I told these guys, I said, no, we're going to up our goals. We're going to be shooting even higher. We've gotten ourselves to a place where that's what we do here. We're not going to say, oh, we're going to rebuild or we're going to bring these guys along. We're going to shoot. And then we've made some changes in our style of play that have really helped us, and these guys have embraced it.
Looking back at those two most recent games, we'll begin, Coach, with Bob Jones and talk a little bit about that one. It was a lively atmosphere here in the Hodge Center as you honored Dodie Anderson. Crowd was on their feet, and you put up over 100 points in the ballgame.
Well, we were excited about Dodie being here and what the school has recognized her for, and our players are very much aware of what she's done for our program, very appreciative of it. And so it was a fun atmosphere. The crowd was good, enthusiastic, and we played good. I mean, Bob Jones obviously is not a strong opponent, but what was good about it from our perspective is we played the game the right way. We didn't deviate. We didn't get outside of what we're trying to accomplish as a team. Nobody soloed at all. Even Tristan Thomas, who made 8 threes, did not take bad shots. He took them out of the flow of the offense. And so all that combined made it not just a win, but it made it a good win in terms of, and obviously for everybody it was fun.
You do cross the 100-point threshold in that game for the first time since 2005. I know that number specifically doesn't mean anything really other than it says you were doing some things well offensively. And then defensively, what you're calling a matchup defense has been drawing some attention in the early part of the season.
Yes, that our size and length bothered them, kind of like UCF size and length bothered us in the next game. But we played it well, we covered it well, we held their shooting percentage down, we forced a lot of turnovers. It was a good experience for us.
Turning our attention to UCF, you had a 9-point lead in the first half in that game, carried a lead into the intermission, and were within 3 points with just over 2 minutes to play. So you said it was nip and tuck. You were right there at the end. What do you take away from that game moving forward as you get ready for the tournament coming up this weekend?
Well, we take away the fact that, we had a 2-point lead with 9 minutes to play, and we didn't score until the 3-minute mark. And during that time, we had quick shots, we had missed free throws, we had a couple turnovers, we gave up offensive rebounds, we did not get it done during that 6-minute stretch. And even at the end of that 6 minutes, we're still only down 2, but we look at that and we think to ourselves, and rightly so, that we had an opportunity if we hadn't made mistakes in these possessions or hadn't missed a block out, or there's different things that happen. So I think our players understand that we are capable of winning games like that. They also understand that you can't have those types of stretches where you make those kinds of mistakes in order to beat a good team on the road.
So despite the fast start, the areas of improvement, as you heard it from Coach, are there. We'll talk about those areas and the upcoming week's games in just a bit. But right now, we've got more information on Brittany Starling as she is standing by for our Get to Know Your Spartans segment.
My favorite thing about playing in the Hodge Center would have to be just being on your home grounds in front of people that you know, people that care about you, people that are rooting for you. Just being able to perform and do your best out there in front of those people is always a great feeling. The music that I listen to before a game is pretty much anything you can think of, from R&B to rap to gospel. I listen to a lot of gospels. One song I always have on repeat, it's a song by Dietrich Haddon called Mighty God. I love that song. If I were an animal, I would definitely be a lion, because a lion is like that big dog in the jungle, like, they're sneaky, and then when they come out and they roar, it's just like, it's like that, they take over, you know what I mean? My favorite season is winter. I like winter because I like being cold. I like the hoodie, sweat season. That's pretty much when our season takes off, is in the winter. So definitely a winter person. For vacation, I would prefer going to the beach over the mountains, simply because I will have cell phone service at the beach, and I like the ocean and taking long romantic strides at night with the sun setting and all that good stuff. The person that has influenced my life the most will probably have to be my friend Shaniqua McKnight. As a friend in high school, she's always been a motivator, a quiet motivator. She's never been a talker. She's always let her work do the talking. So with working out with her and being with her, she just definitely allowed me to find that inner dog within myself and always push myself. My favorite actor is Denzel Washington. He can pretty much make any bad movie good. If I were a WNBA executive, the player that I would choose to start a franchise with would probably have to be Maya Moore. I love Maya. I love how she plays. She plays hard. Even when she was in college, she plays hard. As an NBA executive, I would probably try and build a franchise around Kevin Durant simply because he's my favorite player. This guy is like 7 foot tall and can blow past you in one dribble. When I become a coach in my future, I would prefer being a player coach versus being a discipline-oriented coach, simply because you have to friend them first, let them know that you care about them, let them know that you're there for them, you have their back, you're supporting them 100%. Not necessarily saying that you're going to just let them do what they want to do and take it easy on them. No, you're going to still be a great coach, a hard coach on them, but at the same time, always letting them know that you have their back and you're there for them, and you're going to do whatever you can to see them succeed, and you guys are just in this together. If a movie was made about my life, I would choose myself to play myself. No one out there can give that raw emotion of how I feel about the game, how I go through my daily life. No one out there can give that raw emotion but me, so I'll go with me,
We certainly thank Brittany Starling for her time. Always nice to get to know some of our student athletes a little more. We'll break away, come back with more Center Court right after this.
It goes with .3 remaining, and the Hodge Center is going out of its mind.
Welcome back to Center Court as we push forward by taking a look at the growth of the women's basketball program. And I say growth because things are really turning in a positive direction, Coach Tammy George. 3 wins in a row off that trip to Iowa. You have to be pleased with the way things have turned when you came back home.
Yeah, definitely. We're not playing our best basketball right now, but we're finding a way to win. 2 of them have been at home, 1's been on the road. But again, we got the win, and we're very excited to keep getting better each day and get ready for the rest of our schedule.
Playing well at home in games against Converse as well as IPFW and on the road. As we look back at some of those highlights and talk through where you are so far, one thing that's been most impressive, you're putting multiple players in double figures game in and game out, which means they're really spreading it around and sharing the ball very well.
Yeah, this is one of the first years in a long time we've had a lot of depth. We feel like we're at least 10 deep, and a lot of experience coming off the bench. Some kids that maybe started last year are finding their way off the bench and being a spark for us. And any given night, anybody can step up and be our leading scorer. And we've had several people placing double figures. It's exciting and it's good. It keeps us fresh, keeps us, be able to go out and play hard, and then we can bring people off the bench that can come in and provide the same kind of spark.
No, one thing you really talk a lot about is being unselfish with the basketball, and you have to be pleased that they're doing so. Yeah,
I mean it's great. It's great as a coach, and even for your team. Like, kids want to play, be part of that. You don't want to go and just get one-sided. One player gets touches all the time. So it's good to see that we're spreading the ball around and getting so many people involved. It's exciting to watch, I think, especially for the fans.
Well, before we look ahead to the games that are coming up, let's talk about where you are. This has been a busy stretch of basketball for you, and you've had to make the adjustments that you're making really in the midst of in-game situations.
Yeah, we started, the season November 14th. This is like November 26th, so this will be like our 6th game in 11 days. So it's been hectic. We're looking forward to Thanksgiving coming up and getting a few days to kind of catch our breath and get some time in the gym and work on some of the things that we need to work on.
I know one thing that's helped you catch your breath a little bit is you finally got your whole team together, it seems like. So many injuries, so many side issues going on early, and now you've got the roster in place.
Yeah, finally for the first time we are healthy. We got some kids back. Shelby was out for a game or 2, and then Lowe's been out for 2 games. So we're back to being a full roster, and we're looking to get better and take take it one day at a time, one game at a time. But we're happy to have a full roster and full speed ahead.
I know a coach never looking back at what you've done well, always looking ahead at what you can improve on. And you said it, you feel like you're not playing your best basketball yet. What does that look like? What are the areas you're really trying to tighten up as you move toward the middle portion of your non-conference schedule?
I think the biggest thing is we're giving up a lot of points right now, so I think our defense has to get better. I'll use the term work in progress. Our defense is a work in progress right now, and again, we haven't had a whole lot of time to work on it. So that's going ahead. That's something we got to get better at. We got to stop giving up so many points.
Size up Brevard for us, and then we'll talk about your next challenging road trip.
We're just again excited to be home back after Thanksgiving. The kids will get a day or two off, and we'll come back and play Brevard. You know, don't know too much about them, but I think they have a game before they play us. So we're just happy to be home and right after Thanksgiving, and you know, just a chance to play in front of our fans again, and you know, hopefully get the dub.
And before we visit again, you'll go on the road against the SEC at Alabama.
Yeah, try not to look too far ahead, but who knows what can happen.
What's the attitude and the morale of the team with how well you've been able to do after that early challenge you had on the road?
You know, they're very relaxed. They have some confidence. We're having fun. Winning obviously makes things fun. Practices are fun and still competitive. We're just trying to get better each day. And but again, they're working hard and they're excited about, you know, where we are right now. So we're just trying to keep getting better each day.
Well, thank you for your time, Coach. We look forward to having you back here this weekend and look forward to this team continuing to show progress as the season rolls on.
Thank you.
We'll continue with more Center Court right after the break.
People know you and they get to know you on a personal level and they know your abilities.
And this is really a place where I have seen, and I mean this is a place where I've seen students come here and really try to figure out who it is that they are.
Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? And I think every college kid goes through that. But being here at Upstate and being a part of so many different programs, I know what my purpose is. And I can say that with confidence.
You don't get lost in the crowd at Upstate.
USC Upstate is a place where people can discover themselves.
Welcome back to Center Court. It's now time for our Inside the Game segment with Coach Eddie Payne. And Coach, we'll talk about Tristan Thomas, who you mentioned earlier. He really found the zone from three-point land in that game against Bob Jones. Talk about what he was able to do and how a player reaches that point where sometimes it seems like they just can't miss.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, he just played out of the flow of the offense, and the ball found him. That's what good teams do usually. They move the ball and the ball finds the open man, and he was the recipient of it. As that was going on, he stretched his range a little bit because he was in the quote zone, and you know, the players started looking for him and they found him and he made them, and it's unusual to be able to shoot the ball like that. I've never seen him do it. Our players talk about him doing it in pickup, which is always different than the actual game. So, you know, and it just doesn't happen very often. For matter of fact, for most players, it never happens. You got to be a pretty good shooter to get to that point. I'd say on our team, you'd have a guy like Ty could maybe do that along with Tristan. Fred had a quick little zone out at A&T where he hit 3 deep threes in the latter part of the first half. But it's unusual for it to go 8. And that's what happened with Tristan, and certainly was celebrated by our team, and you know, we were real proud of him.
Absolutely fun to watch when you see a player go on fire like that. What is not fun to watch, what we saw with Michael Buchanan, landing hard on the floor here against Bob Jones. He was able to come back and join you on the bench, and it seems like everything's okay. As we turn our attention to the Spartanburg Regional Sports Medicine injury report, walk us through Kareem, anybody else who may be banged up right now.
Well, Mike, that's the 3rd time his shoulder popped out on him, separation, and you know, it hurts. I mean, it hurts, and they have to put it back in. And the more you do it, the more apt it is to happen again. And it ends up being, you know, how much can you take? It's not going to be very unusual if it became more injured. It's just going to hurt. So, you know, he had to practice it in order for him to play at Central Florida. We don't play guys who don't practice. It's not smart for a variety of reasons, but he was able to practice on Saturday night down there. He was able to go through shoot around, and then he got in the game. We didn't start him, but he got in the game. He had 12 points and 8 boards. So when he was in the game, he was the only player on our roster that was a plus when he was in the game. He impacted the game, and the foul trouble kept him out a good bit, more so than the injury. So we'll just it's going to be day to day, game to game, practice to practice. If it pops out again, it'll set him back for a day or two, and hopefully he'll get tougher and more used to it. Although you can't discount the discomfort that comes from separating your shoulder. And then Kareem has a small stress fracture in the bone that's going to keep him out for indefinitely. We're not sure yet. We have to get some MRIs and things like that done on him. And after that, we should be okay.
Everybody else, other than the normal situation that they would be in with as many games as you're playing here early, seems to be okay?
Yeah. Everything's fine there. So we got a lot of games coming up.
This will be quite a stretch to see what happens from here. That's your Spartanburg Regional Sports Medicine Injury Report. And now it's time for this week's special feature, as we'll find out from students around campus who wins the battle between the three-pointer and the dunk.
I'm here on campus for center court, and I'm here with my new friend Jimmy. Jimmy, how you doing today?
Doing good, sir. How about you?
I'm doing good, thanks. So we've been going around campus, and we want to ask some people, if you were on the basketball court and you had to choose between making a huge monstrous slam dunk or a real long three-point shot to win the game or just make a big play, which one would you choose and why?
I would choose a three-pointer because the three-pointer is worth more points, and it looks better to me.
Oh, definitely the three-point. More skill, more arc, just looks better.
I would have to say it would be the slam dunk, because I've never dunked before, but I'm working on my vert, so hopefully one day I can do it.
Monster slam dunk because everybody can't dunk. I'm only 5'5", so anything dunked in the basketball goal is pretty nice to me.
I would actually choose a slam dunk to show my skills.
See a little dunk, get a crowd hype, get everybody going.
I would choose a three-pointer because slam dunk I might tear my knee up, so I would shoot a three.
Shoot the three to protect her knee. I'm Alex Love reporting for Center Court.
And now, Coach, let's take a look at this week's games. You've got that important Thanksgiving tournament, the Marriott Spartan Classic coming up. Florida International is in town, also Cal State Fullerton and Wright State. Size those three teams up for us and what it's going to be like to play 3 games in 3 days.
Well, we're real pleased that those teams are going to be here. I think that's a really good field, good basketball teams. Obviously Fullerton coming all the way from California here, Miami, Florida International. And Wright State's picked to be second, I think, in their league. So it's going to be a really, really good test, and it's going to be one test. And next test is a little harder. Next test will be a little harder. It's going to be basketball back. And so we'll have to make adjustments on mentally. We won't have time to practice it, and of course, neither will they. It's going to be a really good experience, I think. And I think all of these teams, all 4 teams, will learn a great deal about their own team in this weekend tournament.
How special is it to be able to host it here in Spartanburg, and what does it mean to play it here in the Hodge Center?
Well, as you know, it means we don't have to travel over Thanksgiving. It means we can play games in our own gym, and theoretically gives us a little bit better chance to win. So and it gives our program a little bit more of a statue, if you will, because we've been able to put this together. And we congratulate Kyle Perry, who did most of the work. He and I talked about it all the way through, but he was the one doing the nuts and bolts stuff. And so that was a really good effort by him to get that kind of event here, and so we're real happy to host these teams, and it's going to be some good basketball. People want to come out and see 2 good games every day. You're going to have an opportunity to do that here in the Hodge, and certainly want to encourage everybody to do that. So basketball fans, come on out.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Don't miss your opportunity to see some Division I basketball doubleheaders each day on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the Spartan Classic right here at the GB Hodge Center.
With .3 remaining, and the Hodge Center is going out of its mind.
Now we've reached that point in the show where we tally your votes. Marvin Schmiga's second-half goal against Northern Kentucky remains our victor thus far on center court. But take a look at this Raven Jefferson slicing layup for women's basketball to try and challenge Schmiga's goal. Now you will decide which play survives to next week. Tweet either women's basketball or soccer to @UpstateSpartans using the hashtag #CCTopPlay. So that does it for our Thanksgiving week edition of Center Court. Join us once again next Wednesday as we talk to head coach Eddie Payne, women's basketball coach Tammy George, and gather for you all the inside information about Upstate basketball.